I was at Harvard University 2 years ago, and I was there intentionally as a student to learn from a guy named Daniel Amen, Dr. Daniel Amen. They have studied and scanned more brains than any other group that's ever existed. They've scanned over 60,000 brains, and they can now tell you and I what the average adult, what normal is. Okay, they can tell you what normal is. So let me just ask you a quick question. What's the average, based on Stanford science and studies, what's the average attention span for an adult? Now, by the way, culture is not an issue. It doesn't matter. It's in today's world, what's the average attention span for the folks that you and I are standing in front of? Turn to somebody. If you didn't like the person you turned to before, turn the other direction, or turn to somebody else, and tell them what you think. What do you think? What's the attention span? Okay, got it? All right, so what's the normal brain attention span for an adult today? Wherever you go, what is it?
3 or 4 minutes.
3 or 4 minutes? 5 minutes?
I said 1 minute.
1 minute?
I said 9.
9 minutes? 2 minutes? Stanford study says it's 2 minutes. So 1 minute. Look, here's the point. Now, here's the point, and I want you to write this down, because I know you don't have a bunch of material, so there's going to be things you just need to write down. Based on Stanford science, you have to change. A person's attention span is only 2 minutes. So you have to change about every 8 to 10 minutes. Whatever you're doing, you have to change. So if you're lecturing, you can only lecture for 8 to 10 minutes. That's it. And you have to change. So then you have to do some other activity. They turn to their neighbor, you put them in groups, you have them stand up, you have them sit down, you have them write something, you have them tell their neighbor a story, you ask them a question. I mean, there are 1,000 different things you can do. It doesn't matter whether we're teaching pre-licensing or we're teaching well-experienced people. Their attention span is how long? Turn to your neighbor and say 2 minutes. That's it. Just because they're looking at you doesn't mean they're at home. Right? Because I've already, come on, it's 4 minutes after 10. I've been looking in your eyes. I lost some of you a little while ago too. And then you come back. Right? You went to the Bahamas. You went to, you went someplace, right? And you come back. So the goal is to change. Now, the other point that I learned that was very important while I was out there was that our active memory, so we have our active memory, and then we have our non-conscious brain. So our active brain that captures the stuff we're doing. How long can you remember something? So if you're making a point, how long can you remember it without writing it down? And if you don't write it down, you're going to lose the elements of it. Go ahead and turn to somebody again. Tell them what you think. How long do you have to write it down? 5 minutes? 10 seconds? It's actually 7 minutes. You can remember it. 7 minutes. 7 minutes is what they say. Now, I suppose there'll be some Oxford University will probably do some study and they'll, debate it. But at this point, Stanford says 7 minutes. So that means you've got to give people a chance to think about what you're saying, and you've got to have some way for them to capture it.